8 tips on how to get rid of that stubborn belly fat. Are you sick of the fat hanging out of your pants? Are you sick of seeing the fat every time you look in the mirror when you're having a shower? Are you sick of seeing the belly fat when you take your shirt off at the pool, when you take the kids there? Well, maybe it's time you do something about it. Maybe it's time you start learning about nutrition and training. Maybe it's time to get rid of the junk food out of the house and start exercising. Well, don't worry, I got you covered on these top 8 tips on how to get rid of that unwanted fat you don't want. Number 1, calorie deficit. So what is a calorie deficit? You have to burn more calories than you consume. It's always calories in versus calories out. So what you have to do is eat fewer calories. Let's say that you go on a daily caloric deficit of around 500 calories a day. For 7 days, that would be around 3,500 calories. In 1 week, you'll burn around 1 pound of body fat. So, tracking is always going to be the most optimal, guys, once you find your total daily energy expenditure and you go into that small calorie deficit. You can burn anywhere between, 50 to 52 pounds just from diet alone in 1 year, guys, if you stick to that calorie deficit of around 500 calories daily. Number 2, set realistic goals. Don't try to do crash diets, set realistic goals. Try to lose around 0.5 or 1% of your body weight per week. If you lose too much weight too fast, you can easily rebound, guys, and go into a yo-yo diet situation. That's something where you go up in weight, down in weight, up in weight, down in weight. That's something that you don't want, guys. Just remember, guys, the first week you will lose the most amount of weight when you go onto a diet. The reason for this is probably because you're going to drop your carbohydrate intake and your sodium. So you're going to lose a lot of water weight. So just remember, water weight and body fat are 2 completely different things. Water weight you can get rid of in a few days, and body fat takes time, effort, and energy and discipline to get rid of, and you overall being in a calorie deficit. If you're losing more than 1% of your body weight after, the first week or so, that could be a chance that you're losing muscle. So that's something that we don't want to do. We want to maintain as much muscle as possible, especially when we're cutting, guys. You can even build muscle in a deficit if you do it the right way. It's called body recomposition. Number 3, cardio. Please do your daily cardio. I'd recommend starting with 5K steps per day if you're just starting out. I always tell people to aim for around that 150 minutes of, zone 2 cardio a week for your heart health. We're going to go over some tips, guys, on why it's important to do your 10,000 steps per day. But if you're just starting out, guys, start with 5,000 steps a day. Then the next week, go to 6, then 7, then etc. to 10,000. And once you get to 10,000 steps per day, keep it nice and consistent there, guys. The average person will walk 10,000 steps in around, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. And the average 10,000 steps is around 8 kilometers, guys. The average person that weighs around 155 pounds that walks 10,000 steps burns roughly around 430 calories. And that's on average, guys. It just all depends on the intensity as well. Because you can walk 10,000 steps in an hour if your intensity is really high. But I'm going to go over some benefits on why you should do 10,000 steps every day. Increases lung capacity, improves mood, improves varicose veins, boosts immunity, lowers blood pressure, decreases diabetes risk, reduce chronic diseases, and most importantly, improves your heart health. There's just some benefits there, guys, on why you should be doing your 10,000 steps each day. But like I said, if you can't do 10,000 to start with 5,000 and then work your way up. Progressive overload on it, just like anything in life. Number 4, eat high volume, low calorie dense foods. This one's important, guys. If you're eating a lot of high calorically dense foods like lollies, chips, snacks, ice creams, cookies, biscuits, no doubt you'll be gaining a lot of excess. You'll be gaining a lot of calories from that, a lot of high amounts of carbs, sugar, fats, oils. Instead, guys, what I'd recommend doing is to make these food items that you can simply enjoy all your favorite foods while you're still on a diet. From being a chef, I can make all your favorite takeaways, half the calories and double the protein. So if you go through my page, guy, you can see that I make, amazing food, half the calories, double the protein. Just change the macronutrient on some of these foods. All junk foods have different alternatives. So if you're eating a lot of potato chips, maybe swap it out for popcorn. If you're eating a lot of chocolate, swap it out for protein chocolate. If you're eating a lot of lollies, maybe swap it out for frozen berries. Don't always just get rid of your favorite foods because you're in a diet, but, restrict yourself from, all the time. Have it in moderation. Have it on a planned cheat day, All right, guys, number 5, consistency. Be consistent with your training, dieting. Avoid 5,000 calorie days or having huge amounts of cheat meals, because when you're on a diet, if you have one day that's about 5 to 6,000 calories, guys, you can unravel a whole week of just having one bad cheat day. So what I recommend doing is more like have a cheat meal, have it scheduled in your, in your week, and make sure it's only around 500 to 1,000 calories past your maintenance. Because if you eat a 5 or 6,000 calorie days when you're dieting, guys, you're going to unravel that whole week and you're not going to lose any weight. So I would just recommend, be more cautious and, make sure that it's planned into your cheat meal. All right, guys. And number 6, make small changes each week. Most diets fail because people try to make huge changes when they decide to go on a diet in the first place. This could mean excessive cardio, massive calorie deficits by not eating much, going on a super boring diet like just chicken and broccoli, not enjoying it. What I always say, guys, is find a diet that you can sustain for the rest of your life. Mine's all about high protein, high fiber, moderate fat foods with a good amount of carbohydrates, well-balanced diet that I track every single day. And that's what I'd recommend for you guys to start doing. Make them small changes, 1% better each day, guys. Just like progressive overload in the gym. Takes years to build a great physique, right? So, make them small changes in your routine daily and, swap out, that bad junk food and make better alternatives over time. If you're drinking sugar sodas, maybe have, sugar-free sodas. If you're eating sugar super dupers or sugar lollies, swap them out for sugar-free stuff. So, there's always different alternatives, guys. And the people that make the most amount of adjustments and, they're able to keep it off. Number 7, guys, build more muscle on the body. By working out in the gym will help to build muscle. I'd recommend, stick to them heavy compound lifts, your overhead press, your RDLs, your deads, your squats, your leg press, all the big heavy compounds, chest press, incline chest press. Stick to all your heavy compounds, guys. Make sure that you're getting the optimal amount of sleep, 7 to 9 hours. Make sure that you're getting enough protein in your diet, for satiation, and also it's going to help with the recovery and the building of muscle. I like to spread my protein out every 5 meals, 20 to 30 grams of protein, spread out nice and evenly around 3 to 4 hours apart. That's going to be the most optimal way to keep yourself from binging, because you're going to stay nice and satiated if you have your protein and your fiber, set it out nice and evenly throughout the day. Just remember, guys, if you build 10 pounds of muscle on the body, you're going to burn more calories at rest, approximately 70 to 80 calories extra. So every 10 pounds, you'll burn around 70 to 80 calories in 24 hours. So every 10 pounds of lean tissue you got, you're going to burn more calories at rest. It's going to bring up your basal metabolic rate and your total daily energy expenditure so that you can either eat more or be more into a calorie deficit. Number 8, guys, spot reduce fat. Just remember, you can't spot reduce fat. Doesn't matter how many sit-ups you do. If you want all that belly fat off your stomach, if you think that sit-ups is the answer, it's not going to work, guys. It's really genetics on where your fat comes off first, but it's most importantly, it's being overall in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight to begin with. And you can't just go, I want this body fat off my stomach, so I'll just do a bunch of sit-ups. It ain't going to work. To get that belly fat to get off your stomach or love handles, you just got to be in a calorie deficit long enough for it to actually get rid of itself, by utilizing the excess energy on the body. Anyway, guys, if you find this helpful, drop me a like, comment, and share, and drop me a comment on what I should talk about next for you guys.